All right, let's talk about how to find donors through social media. Okay, so we're living in a digital world, right? And for those of us who were on the cusp of all of that, we remember what it was like to not have the internet or to have it so slowly that it didn't really make a difference. Um, the world is shifting, right? The world has shifted, and there's a new way to connect with people online, right? It's called social medias. Let me frame this for you for a second, right? So if there was a gathering of thousands of people in your community that ran 24/7, right? There's always thousands of people there. Don't you think you might go visit it to find prospective new donors for your nonprofit? Right? And that's what social media is. At your fingertips, you have a gathering of thousands, probably millions of people all the time. And so there are some ways that you can leverage this to find new donors for your organization. So I'm going to give you some steps that you can put into place here to start generating new prospective donors through social media. Okay, and what I'm going to tell you applies to Facebook, but it spans the gap of multiple different social media. So number one, what you have to do is set up a page for your nonprofit. Many of you already have those things, right? But essentially, this is going to be a landing page for your nonprofit where people can come and learn more about your nonprofit set up within the social media platform that you're on, right? So, for example, I had a Farming with Friends page whenever I worked for Farming with Friends. People could like or follow the page, and that would send them automatic updates from that page about my organization as I posted them to that page, right? And so this is a place where you will consistently share the story of your nonprofit, right? And you must do this consistently. Like I said, I talk about this a lot in some other videos, my masterclass video and my compelling storytelling video. But story sells within the world of nonprofits. So you're going to consistently post to this page stories from the front lines of your nonprofit, right? To help people start putting skin on your mission and understand what you do. And what you do on the front end is you invite everyone you know to like that page, right? Go ahead and invite them to like that page. Start building that following there within that social media platform. Okay, and this is also where you will provide updates for your fundraising initiatives, right? So as you're sharing the story, occasionally within that rotation, you'll plug in updates on your fundraising initiatives, right? So if you're trying to raise $5,000 a month in recurring donations, which if you haven't seen that video, go check it out, you would then post updates to this page saying, hey, we just hit 1,500 a month. Woo, congratulations. Awesome. Let's all get excited together, right? And so you'll start doing that within this group as well. But essentially, this page is a landing page, a gathering place, right, to which we are driving traffic, right, driving new potential donors. Okay, so get that page set up, get it all branded in your nonprofit stuff, and that's step number one. Create a page for your nonprofit. Step number two is clean up your personal profile, okay? Essentially, remove the political stuff, unless your nonprofit is political, right? Remove any death threats or anything that makes you look like a crazy person, even though we're all a little bit crazy. And then here's some optional steps that you can utilize, because what we're doing is we're going to invite people to be our friends, and so they're going to look at our personal profile page. I'll get to that point here in just a bit. But they're going to look at our personal profile page and figure out what we're about through that, right? So you might want to create a banner, right, on your personal page, which is the picture behind the little picture of you, that says something about your nonprofit. You can look at my personal profile page if you want an example of this. It might say something about your nonprofit or have your nonprofit logo with an image to click here for more information, right? And then when they click on it, you can update the captions portion to include any information about your nonprofit that you want, but also a link to your nonprofit's page, right? So the idea being here that we're going to funnel people from groups within Facebook to our personal page over to our nonprofit page. Again, I'll talk about that whole process in a second. But again, you want to link to your nonprofit page on your personal page. You can also, if you have any sort of nonprofit video, right, sort of your good 2 to 4 minute video that gives people the basic information about your nonprofit, go ahead and pin that to the top of your personal page. That way when people You friend request people, they can pop on there, and the first thing they see is a video about your nonprofit. Additionally, there's a featured section on your personal page. You can even add a video to that featured section. That way, it's right there on the front of your page when people visit your personal profile, right? And so what we're creating here is almost like a business card of sorts that you can utilize and have people see, again, what you're about, and your information about your nonprofit right there as you friend request them. Now, you still want your page to be personal, right? In fact, it's better that way, right? People get to see that you're a real human being, but you want it to be such that people can learn a bit about your nonprofit as they explore your personal page as well, and be directed to your nonprofit's Facebook page. Okay, so that's step number 2 for your personal profile. Step number 3 is join Facebook groups with related interests to your nonprofit, right? So if you have a nonprofit that focuses on disability, maybe join groups of parents of people with disabilities, right? Or a nonprofit that focuses on, it's an animal shelter, maybe join a group called Dog Lovers, or a golf nonprofit, right? Join golf groups. A sports nonprofit, join sports groups. A dance nonprofit, join dance groups, right? You get the picture here. You know your target market. Join groups that are likely to contain people within your target market, right? Go ahead and join those groups, and that brings me to step 4, which is begin interacting within the group, right? Like and comment on posts, and be helpful and kind, right? Become a part of that community. Jump in there, provide your input, provide your thoughts. And then beyond that, step number 5, create value posts within these groups, right? Create your own post within the group that people might engage with, right? You can share stories, even stories from your own nonprofit, right? Without any sort of call to action or fundraising requests. Don't do that within these groups. You'll get kicked out pretty quickly in some of these groups. But just stories that people might connect with and comment on and like, right? Maybe even problems you're experiencing that relate to the group, or questions you have that relate to the group. The idea here is that you share something of interest to the group to get people to engage with your post. All right, which brings me to step number 6. Once people have engaged with your post, right, they've liked it, they've commented on it, whatever it might be, add them as a friend. And you got to be careful with this, because a lot of groups are weird about this, and they'll kick you out for adding people as friends. So read the rules within your group, and if they're weird about it, you can still do it, but don't be surprised if you get kicked out. And one bit of advice here: check who the admins are of the group. If they comment on your post, don't add them as a friend. That's a surefire way to get kicked out of the group. I know, because I've done it before, right? But ultimately, it's advisable to have people comment on your things before you add them as a friend, right? That way it seems more natural, and they're already familiar with you from the group. And just start adding friends, right, that have some sort of interest in the space that your nonprofit hangs out in. And then from there, step number 7, once they've accepted your friend request, strike up a conversation with your new friends, right? Hey, thanks for supporting my post in, XYZ group. Maybe it's golf. Thanks for supporting my post in golf group. Are you a big golfer? ? Right? And this is going to feel a bit awkward and odd at first, but it's no different than striking up a conversation in person, right? It always feels a little bit awkward and odd at first. And some people are going to be natural conversationalists, and others are going to have one-word answers or no answers at all. That's just all a part of it, right? But be natural, take an interest in them, a genuine interest in them, get to know them, and then go back and forth a little bit, right, with a little bit of conversation, and then let them know about your nonprofit's Facebook page, right? Hey, really enjoyed chatting with you. I thought you might be interested in learning more about what we're doing through our nonprofit. Here's a link to our Facebook page if you want to follow it or like it. Boom, right? So now they've become your friend. You've invited them to like your page. And once they're in the page, once they follow or like your page, right, you can give them a little bit of time to explore and hear the story, right? Give them a little bit of time to see a few of your posts that are, stories from the front lines. And then from there, you can tag them in or just forward them your fundraising requests, right? As you post them to the page, you can then share that with them and say, hey, I'm not sure if you saw this, but I wanted to see if you'd be willing to donate to our year-end giving campaign, or whatever it might be, right? And so that's the process, right? And it sounds a little convoluted at first, but once you kind of get in the rhythm of this thing, it's a really cool way to go about adding prospective donors to your list who are already warm, right? They already share some sort of interest that your nonprofit that's similar to the interest and mission of your nonprofit, which is a really cool way to go about just having a warm potential donor as a new friend on social media. So good luck, happy fishing, so to speak. And take care.